I,
right?
I will say one thing, Ali, specifically around the point of just, sort of that last point you made about supporting
Mm-hmm.
people that come to you for ideas. I agree with you. I have been in that position myself, right? Where
Mm-hmm.
somebody has come to me with their idea or like their project, and I've done basically the bare minimum, right? And I think, it's worth putting this idea. Well, I subscribe to this idea now. I didn't subscribe to it back then. I like genuinely subscribe to this idea now that if you share your ideas or your projects with your family members, do it
Mm-hmm.
without expectations,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Don't look for, like, I don't take any feedback from family. Like, that's just my rule. Like, don't ever take, like, their feedback is not grounded in a reality that you're operating in, because they don't
Mm-hmm.
understand. If they don't understand, it's not that they don't understand your product, your project. It's that your vision is unique to you, right? Your
Mm-hmm.
customer is not your family member.
Is it? Is it?
Okay. And a lot of people make this mistake and they think that their customer is their family member too. And then they go advertise it to them and they get nothing out of it. Then they get demotivated and then they quit. Right? Most people aren't resilient the first time around. Even the second, third time around, people don't have that level of resilience to push through, because it can be demotivating if all your family member does is just check your website out really quickly, right? Do one thing and then leave just to make you happy. That's not support. That's just showing up to do the bare minimum. I don't want that, because that's not helping me. But
It's
anyways, coming,
uh,
yep, sorry,
and
please, if you have something to
and
say.
it's yeah, and it's so funny that you sometimes come across such a insightful statement or a philosophy by a stranger, okay, and then it hits you, right? Whereas the same philosophy or thing could be delivered by a family member. You don't see the philosophy, you see the family member.
Yep,
The
I agree with you on that one.
right, it's weird, no? Like you don't
It's, yeah,
see what's being said, you see who's saying it, right? So
exactly.
when a stranger saying it, there's no, because that stranger could be, bro, he could be that person must have spoken about love, but he might be the most hateful person, but you just didn't know, and you didn't resonate with the person, you just resonated with what he said or what he
Exactly. Yeah.
posted, right? So
Yeah.
it's funny this way, but coming back to the point, so then I then one thing I understood was, maybe I'm just going to give it a term, it was unexamined repetition, right? I started first, I was repeating everything without examining it, right? And then I started examining my actions. I was like, okay, Ali, this is paying, this is not paying, this is working, this is not working. Because before, Noman, everything I was just doing, I was like, man, everything, everything, don't want to fail, which is going to do every single thing. But I think that was the key. That really was the key. Because out of that everything, I started getting data. Out of that data, I started analyzing data. And then I told you that once I got the first review from somebody, I made sure that I highlighted that review on my website, asking people. I actually started advertising that guy or that channel, giving so much love back to them, right? Asking people to go to his channel, even though I was just one video on his channel, right?
Right.
I showed so much love. Thank you, bro.
Right.
This, that, talking to people about that guy's channel now, right? Giving so
Right.
much love.
Right.
Sorry, good.
No, no, no. Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you. Like, you covered it.
So and then came the second one. Maybe somebody saw that love, you know, or maybe
Yeah.
somebody saw the interaction. Then the
Yeah.
second one came to a point that I will admit, after 30, 40, I got too comfortable. I started practicing it. It became, um, I took it for granted, and then I lost it. And then honestly, I broke the cycle. I broke the
Right.
cycle. The cycle stopped,
Right.
and then I was never able to revive it again. Till, because other things started working out, but I'm just saying that thing was, at one point, it was so precious to me, right? And then it became guaranteed, and then I lost interest, or I stopped paying attention to it because it was working, and
Mm-hmm.
then it stopped working, and then I could never revive it. But other things
Right.
started working. But now I just think that if I was able to maintain all those goods, because it was again, being a young entrepreneur at that time, not understanding the discipline, time management, resource management, not understanding all of those things. Now I just think back that, man, if I was good at resource and time and people management at that time, if I would have kept everything that worked for me, right? Because for me it was something worked, for something other to work, the thing that was working had to go because I was bad at managing uh,
Right.
time and resource. Ideas and passion was never the issue with me. Ideas came to me. I was like ideas came to me. I was really good with ideas, Noman. Because that's how I also thought of my. I was like, man, I'm the idea guy. I can come up with stuff, right? But then now I learned that, hey, I need to, even speaking to myself, I need to speak to myself in a very balanced way. I'm not just the idea guy. I'm the one who. Then I'm just telling you a transition, okay? Oh, I'm the idea guy. Oh, I'm the idea guy who always takes action. Now I'm trying to. Now I've added a third one to it. I am the idea guy who always takes action, and now I know. And now I'm the guy who also knows how to manage all those actions. And I think this third one is the newest one for me right now. And I'm learning this one. The first two I've mastered, to be honest with you. If I think of something, I know I can act on it. And you know me this way too. But the third part is where I'm working on these days because, and whatever I just told you is just top of my head, that this is of course this is a very small aspect of what the journey was like, but this was one aspect of it, and I would love for you to ask me this thing somewhere again down the line, because I know that at that point in time I would think of a different trajectory and might have some more insights. But for now, this was the insight that something worked, I got the data, I pursued it, and then and then trying to make something else work at the same time, the first one always got lost. Till today it happens, to be honest with you. I'm learning. I'm learning this, that, hey, Ali, manage it accordingly, bro. Right? You just manage it accordingly. Give
Right.
everything its proper time, its proper, its proper way of, yeah, give everything its proper time.
Right.
And that, yeah.
I I appreciate you giving that much color to it because it really puts into perspective the journey, right? A lot of people think the journey is going to be straightforward. They think that, they'll just Google a question and they'll get an answer and they'll figure it out, or they'll just find someone else who did it and they'll try to
Mm-hmm.
copy it and it'll work for them. And they're in for a disappointment. But I want to come back to this point about quitting,
Mm-hmm.
Ali, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure like this isn't a surprise to you. You've been in a position where you've thought about quitting something, right? Like if I was
Mm-hmm.
just to ask you as a yes or no question, right? So I've been in a position where I have wanted to quit many, many things that I've started, that I've, put my heart and soul into. And I realized that back then, when I was not as knowledgeable, as experienced, as sort of like patient that I am now, right? Or observant and aware that I have become now, I have quit things that I should not have quit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I have quit things that really were on the verge of success, that really would have, I'm not saying that they would have made me into someone, but I would have been able to see them to the finish line, and I quit them. And I've really, punished myself for this for
Mm-hmm.
many, many. I've said to myself that this is weakness, this is
Mm-hmm.
stupidity, that, I'm not good enough, that I'm not experienced enough. And, you chastise yourself. And I chastised
Mm-hmm.
myself as much as I could. And then in this book, the dip that I'm talking about, there's these three questions, Ali, and it's specifically about quitting. So I'm going to go over, we'll do this as a fun exercise, just you and I.
Mm-hmm.
Over each of these questions, right? Like you have to sort of like play the role of someone in that position. So maybe you are the founder of a company or you're pursuing a project and you've come to a very difficult state and you are now thinking about quitting, right? So the author says that whenever you reach that state where your project or your endeavor is not going the way it's going, everything seems overwhelming, you have
Mm-hmm.
no clear idea what to do next, there are three questions that you need to ask yourself. Question number one: am I panicking?
Mm-hmm.
Right? So, as I asked this question to you, am I panicking? Have you ever been in a position where you're thinking about quitting and you asked yourself, like, is this all coming from a state of panic? Like, is this rooted in logic? Have you ever been in that position, Ali?
Um, I would say most of like in the early days, most of the time,
Right?
uh, assumptions about I've also done math to cause panic, to
Oh,
be honest with you,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
Right? And I know you might be able to relate to this. Like you jot down points and you predict scenarios and you come up with assumptions and you do the math, whether it's with the analytics of your website
right,
or with your money in the bank, right? You do the
right.
math and you cause panic. You're like, yo, uh,
Absolutely,
uh, right?
absolutely.
Yeah. So definitely have been
In
in
that
a state of
position, right?
panic, and I actually can add something to this, Numan. It's a um, it's hard, but I'll say, okay.
Just say
Uh,
it. Yeah, yeah, go for it.
it's it's that the panic has come to a point that at one point in time and that I have walked up to a job and this and this is no and this and it sounds dramatic, but this is real life, okay? That I have stood at the doorstep of entering a building for an interview and walked away.
I recognize
Panic,
this feeling. Yeah,
panic
yeah,
of this uncertainty
yeah,
has put me in a situation where I booked it, I dressed up for it,
yeah.
I went till the door. Something in me did not allow me to open that door.
I know what you
And
mean.
I
Yeah.
and I came back home.
Mm-hmm.
I was just pacing in my apartment, feeling the motivation, feeling the urge, reminding myself, Ali, who you are, bro. Always remember who you are, what you're capable of, what your thoughts are, what your mind is. It is you. Like again, it sounds dramatic, but
Mm-hmm.
this is sometimes what it takes. You have to remind yourself that you are the one. I'm sorry to say
Right,
it like this, but this is
right.
how sometimes you talk to yourself. You're like, Ali, and I say when I say I when I'm saying this, I'm really saying my name to myself. I'm like, Ali, no,
Mm-hmm.
you are no, bro. Don't fall for this. Fight it, fight it. If somebody can fight it, it's you, bro.
Yeah.
It's you, right? Like
Uh-huh.
don't fall into your mind trap, or this fear that you talk about, or the panic that you talk about. That I'm telling you, no man, before. And then you get the call, you get the email, hey, how come you didn't show up for the interview? And you're like, you know what? This does not even require my response. I am burning that bridge completely because I need to burn that bridge.
Right.
I need to burn that bridge. It's um, yeah, and then once that thing was over, I promise you, I promise you, the biggest growths came in the coming months
Mm-hmm.
because I saw it, right? Because I
Yeah.
saw it. I was like, no, this is uh, like I this is what happened that day. I got reminded of something very big actually that day,
Mm-hmm.
right? That I went, I came back. I just remember that day very clearly, and I just and on even when I say it right now, it brings so much emotions in me right now. I'm just like, man, what a day it was, Ali. And
I
and bro, how again, not boasting, but I'm like, man, congrats to you, bro. You know, you came out the way you came out from it. Good on you,
right,
bro. Like really
right,
good on you, man. But again, it was only panic that everything was working. There was a dip, no man, and I panicked because
right,
I don't know what expenses were coming up, or what life changes were coming up, or what move was coming up, or I don't know what life moment was coming up, right? But
right,
but moments in life would do to you. Something big coming up would do that to you. Some big
right.
life event coming up would do that to you. So sometimes it's not you who causes this to yourself. Sometimes external things push that agenda on you, and then it comes down to you, right? Like
Yeah.
whether so again, yeah. I just wanted to share that part with you.
No, I appreciate you sharing this, and yeah, and I'd like to, in line of what you have shared.
Mm. Yeah.
Um, And Ali, I just wanted to be made clear that I'm not, one-upping you or anything.
No, no,
Right?
no. Please, please.
Just an honest
No.
experience, and I'm really glad that you shared this with me, because I have felt very lonely about my experience as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I always thought that what I did that day was very stupid. Similar to you, but my journey was a bit different. Is I panicked. You'd probably recall the days after graduation. When you get your work permit, right, and then you have to
Mm-hmm.
meet these requirements to move to the next step in your immigration journey.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, I'd graduated and I was struggling to find a job. Like, I was struggling, Ali. I had been to hundreds of interviews and I was not getting accepted. And I was working at the university back then, but like a temporary sort of not temporary, but like a part-time job. And it wasn't paying the bills, and time was running out. And you have to show a certain amount of experience to be eligible. I'm sure you're familiar with that. And my time
Mm-hmm.
was running out. I was panicking so much that I decided to start applying for jobs that were not even related to what I do or what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I ended up at this construction company. It's not too far, no, it wasn't too far from where I live, about 30-35 minutes back then. And I went there. It was a very like casual interview. Like, I called them up and they're like, yeah, come in. And we discussed what the job was going to be. I was out of my elements. I've never been in construction
Mm-hmm.
in my life. I've never worked construction. I had no idea what I was going to do. Turns out it was a simple-ish office job, but this wasn't like a huge company or anything, Ali,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, this was some family-run business. And they ran it out of like a little yard outside the city. And I liked the people. I met them, and I came home, and this panic set in on me that, what am I doing with my life? Right? I
Mm-hmm.
don't even want to do this. Like, I'm just doing this to satisfy a requirement that I don't even want. And anyways, like, I was thinking about it, and I got a call in the afternoon, like the next day in the afternoon, that, that they said, yeah, we'll hire you and we're going to pay you XX dollars an hour, and you start like Monday, right? Just give us a confirmation by the end of the week that you accept this offer.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember that I panicked so hard at night that, that my life wasn't going the way it should be going, that I was doing something wrong and that I would regret it for the rest of my life. And the panic was so intense that I had like I was literally breathing rapidly, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't know who to talk to. I didn't know why it was happening. And so I sort of decided that, this isn't giving me the emotions it should be giving me, right? I
Mm-hmm.
should be happy that someone's offered me a job after struggling for so many years to find one. And I called the lady that night, the owner of the business that night, and I said, listen, that this job is not for me. And I don't think I can do this. And I appreciate you making the offer, whatnot. It was the same day the offer was made. And the evening, I called her and I said no. And I regretted that decision after I made it for like many, many months, because I was back into finding a job. A job had landed right in my arms, and I just spat on it and I just threw it away. Like, I didn't see it as a means to an end. And like I said, my time was running out regarding my immigration, and I had only a few months. Like, I think I had like 3-4 months to find a job. And if I didn't find a job, it was game over, and then, go leave the country or find something else to do. I don't know why I made that decision to date. I still don't know why I made that decision.
Mm-hmm.
But when I look back at it now, it was the best decision I have ever made.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I
Yeah.
it changed my life to a point that I am able to sit here right now at 9:30 my time and have this conversation with you, and I am not worried one bit about what's going to happen tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
because it set me on a path to be like, chase what you want, right? Don't do something out of necessity. There will be times where you have to, because options have completely run out,
Mm-hmm.
but let's make that the last possible option. And I have kept that in my mind all my life. And I have always asked myself that whenever I think about quitting something, I always ask myself, am I panicking? or is this based in some logic that I haven't even properly explored myself? And when I quit my second job, right, that I had, sorry, my first proper job that I quit after many, many years. And I was afraid again, Ali, like, look what I have done. And I was trying to chase my company that I was trying to build, which never succeeded, by the way, which failed miserably. It cost me a lot of money, and I never found success with it. And I at that time I deeply regretted quitting my job, burning through my savings, thinking about like why I should have just sucked it up, just kept my head down, and gone through with it. But as the calm finds you, as logic finally takes over the driver's seat and tells the emotion like, hey, sit down and listen now, right? You realize that sometimes that your subconscious does things for you that are beyond what you could possibly imagine. And the joy that it brings me now to be able to like look back at it, not with negativity and with negative emotions even. The fact that I can look at it and tell myself that I am looking back at a person that wasn't prepared, that did not know how to handle this. That person just reacted in the moment the best that they could. I cannot punish that person for that. And I did not have this ability up until like, I'd say like last year, because we discussed this before, right? Where we look back at our past sometimes and we get a little upset about it, get a little emotional about it. Now I look back at it, not like Sherlock Holmes, right? Like there's something to dissect there, but to understand like what was motivating me back then. And I realized that many of the times it was emotions, right? And sometimes it was logic disguised as an emotion. Have you ever experienced logic disguised as emotion?
It's I think a very
Right?
like you're not going Sherlock about it, but once you sit down, think that's mostly the case. To be honest with you,
Isn't it?
just
Yeah,
yeah, that's
absolutely. Yeah.
mostly the case. Like
And
there's no
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, no, no. Please finish your thought. Go for it.
No, no, so I was that's exactly sometimes how it is. Just that it's and not to take over this conversation, Noman, but like just to relate at a different level,
Yeah, yeah. Go
right?
for it. Yeah,
Like, other than the entrepreneurial level,
yeah,
I just wanna like in a job situation,
yeah.
okay? Just gonna since you were talking about the first job, right? I actually was lucky after my graduation that I was able to land. Not exactly not the one that I wanted,
I
right?
remember.
But
Yeah, yeah. I
right?
remember.
But somewhere along, but at least in the uh uh at the lowest tier of it, but at least in that sector, it was the education sector. Okay, I became the you would remember I was the administrative assistant at the college, right?
Yeah, yeah. I remember.
So at that point in time, of course, a lot of people told me that, hey, not this, not that, you should look more. But man, this was a job coming to me a week after my graduation, right? With at that point in time, 2012, good money, right? The the person in charge of me was also the person who first recruited me from to bring me to Canada for my education. Uh, Lady named Bev. Okay, not
I
taking last
remember.
names,
Yeah.
but my mentor as well at that point in time. She and I both had a trajectory in mind about how things are gonna go. Okay, you start here, you go there, you go it within the company. A year went by, no man. I was so comfortable, bro. I was so comfortable. It was just down the street. I had to walk from, I had got an apartment on campus, right? Just walking down, having a good time. Work was serious, but not too serious. And then good money, good life, living that. A year into it, whatever the trajectory was set for me was not gonna play out because that department was not gonna come through, or that department was not gonna get formed. Once I heard that news, it didn't do anything to me. I was like, okay, whatever. I'm happy, but I'm doing right now. Till the time she got me into the office and she told me, Ali, I'm going to let you go in 2 months from now. The world went everything went away for 1 second from me. And I was like, why? I'm doing so good. She's like, no, I know you're doing good, but this is not what the initial conversation was. You remember, right? I was like, no, I remember, but I'm doing good. Everything is good. I'm happy, right? Doing this. She's like, well, no, I'm going to let you go in 2 months. I didn't understand at that point in time because everything was good, Noman. Everything was good, but she was the CEO or the head of that. You know her level, right? Because you know her
I know
personally,
exactly
right?
what that was. Yeah.
Right. Uh, so that lady took this decision for me. Actually, I'll be honest with you. It was a
Yeah.
forced. It was something forced on me. A year after that, or year, or sorry, 2 years after that, from administrative officer, I was a director of a department, Noman.
Right.
Only because
Big
she
jump.
Yeah, only a big, like, of course, the first year I was the coordinator, then I became the director, and then I became the head of the entire department at a different institution. But if she would not have put me out, and there was no reason other than, Ali, this is not what the plan was. And you remember the plan, right?
I
And
do.
I had given up on the plan because everything was so comfortable, Oman. I had given up on the plan. I was
Complacency.
right. I was like, bro, everything is happening. Da, da, da.
Yeah.
If the department didn't
Complacency.
come through, something will come about someday, and I'll grow here. Whatever. But
Yeah.
she was where she was because she knew things that, of course, I didn't know. That lady was in her 60s at that 60s, I would imagine, or late 50s at that point in time. The head of international global markets, right? So, and I was challenging her decision towards me to a point a little bit teary eyed when I was sitting in front of her. I was like, Bev, seriously? She's like, yeah, seriously. 2 months, you're gone. And th- so, because we always talk about entrepreneurial stuff, right? But same thing happens in your job life too. You become too complacent. You panic about situations, right? There's that. But then I did not see what she was trying to do or what she was trying to tell me. And honestly, the day I became the director, I looked back, I got it. I got it. I called. I was like, Bev, you letting me go is that's why I am where I am right now. Thank you. And she wasn't like, see, I told you. She was like, huh, I understand. Ali. Thanks. Good to hear from you. That's it. That's the kind of, like, uh, no boasting, no like, oh, see, I told you I had a plan for you. None of that, because nobody knows, right? But this is,
Yeah.
but
For
I,
sure.
that this is, but all she told me was like, Ali, this was not the plan. This was not the plan.
I completely understand your position on this one, and I completely relate to this story too. And it's an amazing thing to have someone in your life that can sometimes give you the push that you are not giving yourself.
I miss her, man. Now that I talk about her, Noman, honestly, because just
I feel
because
you.
it's been a long time. I've been that person for myself now, right?
Yeah.
Rather than somebody else being that person. And sometimes in life, these things are missing in people's life too, right? Like, I'm not saying it's yes, there is luck, right? It was pure luck that she was the person, right? And I remember how I met her too for the first time. Even that story is crazy, but that's for some other day. But the thing is that we're so lucky, and since that time, I've been that guy, that person for myself. But it was so nice to have that outside person, that outside mentor too, man. Like, you miss these kind of mentors in life, actually.
I know what you're talking about here. I know this. A lot of people are not fortunate enough to have mentors in their life. It is
Hmm.
one of the most amazing gifts a person can give to themselves is to find someone that teaches them, that shows them the ropes, and that sometimes makes the decision that the other person is not, the mentee is not capable of making, right? And I have also been in that position, and I know what you mean. But one thing I have also learned from some of this is how easy it is to get complacent when all your needs are met, right?
100%, bro.
You are getting money in your bank account, because I know I've been there making six figures from a job, right? And that money slaps every month in the bank account, right?
Mhm.
And you're just like, why do I need to do anything else? right? Like I can just do this all day long. And I remember what one of my, she wasn't my direct manager, right? She was from a different department. And she wasn't my mentor or anything like that, but we had a very friendly relationship because I think we connected on a lot of levels. And she asked me a very direct question that I have held so close to my heart that every time I think about it, I feel like it is the most important thing in my life sometimes, and she asked me that, do you want to spend your hours making someone else rich?
Okay.
And I looked at her and I said, like, well, you've been doing this for life. Like, why are you giving me this advice? And I remember what she said to me. And she said that when you are outside, look back and tell me. And I know now because she became complacent and comfortable. Sure, she built an amazing career, right? I know she's doing really well. And now she's even running a big, big business, I think somewhere in Europe or somewhere, I think it is. But she'd become complacent. And I realized what complacency does. And complacency is so dangerous. When you're so comfortable, your needs are met, you want everything you have. There was a time where I did not even look at my bank account. I would just go out and eat whatever I wanted, buy whatever I wanted, and come home. I was happy. I was like, this is the life. And I worked from home, Ali.
And
I didn't
and when
even have
and
to
when,
go to a job.
and when we say buy anything I want and eat anything, we're just talking about that. We're talking about day to day eating, living
Day to day,
kind of,
yeah,
right?
day to day. Literally, yes, exactly. Day to day.
We're still talking about eating at Cactus Club and buying Zara's and stuff. We're not
Yeah,
saying
yeah, not like
yeah,
Louis Vuitton or something. No, 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 no. No, I'm talking like live a comfortable life in money. That's what I'm saying.
true,
Like I
true.
wasn't worried about that. Hey, will I have money left over at the end of the month if I spend like this, right?
Uh-huh,
And
uh-huh.
it had made me so complacent, and it had completely like destroyed any drive to be my own person, right? Not that there is some sort of obligation to do that, but it was in my nature to be my own person, and it was hidden somewhere inside of me. Maybe I suppressed it, maybe I ignored it, but someone else saw it and they decided that it needs to be pulled out somehow. Someone needs to do the push. And I remember when she said that, you want to keep making other people rich, because I was really good at my job. That's why they paid me what they paid me, because I could solve problems that no one could. I never thought of myself as that person. It just clicked for me. And I was like, yo, I like this, right? Like, this is so easy and I can make money doing this. And for someone to come and tell you that when you're making a good money, that means that they have seen something in you that you have suppressed, right? And now they're making the decision for you because it's necessary.